Well, that's what really happens, doesn't it? So we think in images, we think in pictures. The question is what happens when an image pops into your mind. The written language, to some degree, has been designed to help you describe images. In the ancient world, the ancient people sketched images on a rock. And that was their form of communication. So we actually think in images. As you know, you can't create anything until you first create the image in your mind. So let's look at what happens when a thought pops into your mind. This is 4P here. And what that is, a 4P, is that when a thought pops into your mind, that image, TMI, begins to process in your mind. And the principle of neuroscience is that thoughts and images that sync in the mind, link in the mind, and fire in the mind. So when that image pops into your mind, the first P is process. One of the meanings of the word process, series of actions taken in order to come to a particular end. That's the ultimate goal of a mental image. It actually wants to come to a particular end. And then once that image is processing in your mind, it becomes your perception. The reason why we change perception all the time, because images change all the time. Can be external environment that changes the image, determining your internal perception. Could be the internal image that's coming from your subconscious mind that's determining your perception. So perception is always changing. So that image, what perception is, and you've heard that it kind of is a reflection of reality. To some degree that's true, but what perception is, it's actually an image held in your mind at that particular time. And so that image perceived is going to be projected from you into your thought field. And as you know, that imagery is energy. If you think about something all the time, eventually that mind-body connection, you're going to feel it within your physiology, because all is in the image, perceived in the mind. So P, process. The first P is process, second is perception, and the other one is projection. So images are projected from you. You can be around someone that's happy. What's processing in the mind? If you're around people you don't feel too good, what's processing in mind becoming their perception? So ultimately what you perceive is what you're going to project. And the projection of those images become what surrounds that person. I'm referring to your thought field. That's why sometimes you're around people, and sometimes I can pick up on what people are thinking, because I'm in that realm of their thought field that I'm actually picking up on what they're thinking. And I actually say to them sometimes, yeah, is this going on, and that type of thing. And so TMI is the thought and mental images. And when you first of all understand the formula of the 4P, process, perception, project, and produce, those images, those thoughts that are projected from you into your thought field, this is where we use the TPC coaching methodology, which is I3M, which is imagine, merge, match, materialize. So we help people imagine what they want, rather than fight for a thought. And when I'm counseling or coaching people with anxiety and depression, I don't battle with the thought. I simply get them to change the channel. That's it. You change the channel. And it's changing the channel means that let's create a new image. Like going to a movie, you're watching that movie, if it's a happy or comedy, if it's an action movie, that images that you're perceiving in the external world at the movie theater are going to determine your internal emotional state as well. So the best thing here is get people to imagine what they want. So we're changing the channel, we're developing new images that are congruent with what they actually want. And then from there, merging that image with their lifestyle, with their actions, with their association. So it's about merging the image, because the ultimate goal really is transformation. So merging that image until it becomes a perceived ideology, where it becomes an actual perception that now is determining their personality and identity. And eventually, once it's merged, and that could be a process in itself, then the rest is materialized. In other words, that person thinks, that person thinking, their TMI thinking is now transformed, because what you think about, you bring about, and your thinking pattern actually determines your life pattern. We all know that now.